No one can help you change if you don't want to. This might sound a little bit like pessimistic, but it's actually a very empowering statement. Everything in our lives happens for a reason. Everything happens because we want it to happen. And depends on how you or where you are when it comes to the understanding of life and consciousness and energy. You might not fully believe what I'm saying, but it's actually very true. We all have some or certain beliefs around how life is supposed to work or how it works, about what we are able to accomplish and cannot. And like the topics or the lists can just go on and on and on. And there are so many amazing trainings and books and podcasts and etc about how to, for example, be more abundant, how to build better habits, how to maybe lose weight, how to eat healthier, how to reprogram your subconscious mind. And you might say that many of those trainings or resources are paid, but actually there is so much out there that is free of charge, and you can find free resources that are really effective and can help you out in any of these topics. And so, if there is so much information about how to change, why can't we? Why cannot we manifest? Why can't we reprogram our subconscious mind? Why can't we do all of the wonderful things people say we can? And the answer to that is, well, because you don't want to. And sometimes also because you don't know how to. So let's talk about the first one first. Maybe when I say that you don't want to, there might be some reaction, or maybe no, maybe you are like, oh yeah, you are right. But if there is some sort of reaction, let me explain to you why you don't want to. There is a benefit of us living the way we do, even though we are not consciously aware of what that benefit is. But if you were not to benefit from the life you live right now, then you wouldn't be living it. And there are certain or several levels to this. You can see it from the soul perspective, and this perspective tells us that our souls came to earth because they wanted to learn something, or they want to experience something, or they want to clear some karma, or they want to grow or evolve. And so if you see it from that perspective, that means that your soul put you where you are because it needed to learn something, and therefore your reality is of your own creation. You can also see it from the side of the mind and the conscious and unconscious mind. And when we see it in that way, we start looking at traumas and previous experiences and pain and so on. And we realize that those experiences and traumas and pain created beliefs, and those beliefs are the ones who are creating or forcing this reality on us. And if you see it from a mixed perspective, where you take into account your soul's desire, but also your mind and your past and your traumas, you will see that there is a reason why you are where you are, even though consciously you might not want to be there. And most of the times, the reason behind our realities, our struggles, is fear. Another background thought or energy behind our struggles is lack of self-love and self-appreciation. Another reason why we struggle or we are where we are is because we believe we deserve to suffer, and we are punishing ourselves for whatever reason or whatever thing we tell ourselves we deserve to be punished. And it's super interesting when we start exploring all of these ideas and we start exploring ourselves, because those things are very much real. Those roots and the roots behind all of these realities are super weird and super interesting at the same time, and super solid. And when you start questioning your reality and questioning yourself, you will realize that there are some things that don't make sense, and yet you believe them. um, And I say this because I see it in myself, but I also see it in some of my clients, coaching clients, when we are in the, and this happens to most people, I think. I don't want to say everyone, because we all react and process reality in different ways. But something most of us can agree on is when you are looking at a problem from an outsider's perspective. So, like, for example, as a coach, I hear my clients tell me their struggles, and I can see so clearly where the obstacle is, even if sometimes I'm not 100% able to guide them, for them to guide them through the process of them seeing it. Or even if I do a good job, maybe they are like, well, yeah, I can see that, but still I feel resistance towards it. And that brings me back to the first part, or the first sentence that I said: no one can change for you if you don't want to change. No one can make you change, and no one can go through the process of change for you or instead of you. You have to do it yourself. Because it's a decision, it's a conscious decision that goes beyond the limitations you've placed in your mind about what is possible for you. And it also pushes away the resistances, or against the resistances that we usually have around the things we want to do, or the things we are willing or not to do. And change doesn't have to be hard, but sometimes it's difficult just because we've been a certain way for a very long time, and then starting to behave in a different way to our traditional way is just not something we are used to. And so it will create discomfort. And you can see it just, training your mind or changing your beliefs. You can see it just as going to the gym. It's really exactly the same. If you haven't exercised for a while and then you suddenly go to the gym, you will most likely feel horrible at the beginning, and maybe even give that first step of actually going to the gym might be really hard. And then the first day or the following day after your first day back at the gym, your entire body will complain and your muscles will be sore, and so on and so forth. It's the same with your mind. You can decide today that you want to change, and you will start behaving in a different way, and then your mind will resist and will be like, no, like, I'm not gonna do that. This is really uncomfortable. I'd rather do whatever I am used to do and whatever I already know how to process, and I don't want to do those new things. But if you wanna grow as a person, or as a consciousness, or as whatever you identify with, human being, energy, whatever, you need to push through that resistance that your mind is presenting to you. I know it's a cliche and it's overused, but it truly is real that the paradise and your dreams are at the other side of your comfort zone, or at the other side of that resistance, or that wall you seem to be hitting every time you want to improve your life. As a coach, as a spiritual guide, as a channeler, as a person, even, I could provide you with all the tools and tell you, look, if you do this and that, you will reach here or there, and so on. And I can give you links to videos, and I can give you exercises, and I can recommend all of the books, and I can be with you in a session every week. But if you don't do the things that you are supposed to, nothing is going to happen. And when I say doing, is sometimes the physical doing that we need to do is at 20%, and the doing that really makes or improves our lives is the other 80% that is related to creating awareness about ourselves and our emotions, meditation, inner exploration, changing vibration, raising our consciousness, changing our beliefs. That is hard work. And then the physical doing of maybe scheduling the posts for your social media, looking at your expenses, starting to behave in a different way or talk in a certain way. That is the 20% of the actions that will actually change your life. And they don't really need to be that many, because when you start to change the inner vibration and to reframe your consciousness and to reprogram your mind, um, the doing will be less horrible. The doing will be less overwhelming, the physical doing. And as a person in maybe a similar path as the one you are walking, I know that sometimes the physical doing takes a lot of energy from me, and is also a little bit of a struggle, because, as I said, I'm not used to behaving or acting or thinking in the way that will take me towards the greener side of the fence. But it's really important that I do, or that we all do, that we kind of try to go beyond that fence, and we put the either mental, emotional, or physical effort that is required so that we can live our lives. Because even if it takes you 3 years, 4 years, 5 years out of your life to become the person you want to become, that those that time, or those whatever years, will have an impact in the rest of your life. So it's really that much of an effort to commit to 2 years of serving yourself and improving and growing, when you are guaranteed that after that training you will kind of live happily ever after for 30 more years, 20 more years, even 10 more years. I mean, when I say happily ever after, I mean it's not that difficulties won't come your way. What I mean is, you will know and have the attitude and the tools to move quicker through that struggle. And sometimes you won't even see the experiences in your life as a struggle anymore. You will just be able to identify the benefits of that, the blessings of what you are experiencing, and it'll just be, amazing experience after amazing experience, and you will be able to move quicker through the difficulties. So, putting that perspective and seeing that way, I just think that we should really, you know get our motivation from that, from seeing that the little or big effort that you put today will benefit you for 10 more years. And so then really sitting to meditate or to connect with yourself for an hour, half an hour every day really is not that much of an effort, when you can see the big picture benefit in the long term, and also in the short term. Because when you start to connect with your breath, and you start to connect with your consciousness and your energy, and do your breathing exercises, or your meditation, or your yoga or gym, or whatever you do, eating healthy, whatever, is going to have an immediate impact in your life. You will feel calmer, you will feel more relaxed, and even if you are not able to reduce the level of anxiety, fear, or thinking mind, just sitting with the intention of observing will allow you to do that, to observe, to obtain new information about what is going on for you and how can you solve it. And then the deeper you dig, the deeper you will actually reach parts of yourself that maybe you didn't even know they were there. So I think it's worth trying to be a different version of us. Yeah, just a thought. So if you need help, or you need an accountability partner, to go through these type of exercises of observation and consciousness expansion, and also being, start to be a little bit more, um, how can I say this, constant uh, in the things that you say you want to do. If you need someone that to help you structure your plans or structure your life a little bit, because it's not that you cannot, but maybe in the place where you are right now it's a bit hard, it's a bit difficult to do all on your own. Well, note that you don't have to do it all on your own. That's why there are people like me out there that we are coaches or guides or whatever other name you want to give us, or we like giving ourselves. So yeah, you can check out some of my other videos or website or the experiences that I have on Airbnb. And we can also schedule a discovery call that is completely free of charge for you, where we can see if we are a match and we can actually work together, and maybe I am able to support you in your journey as a coach or as any of the other services I provide. And so yeah, just let your intuition guide you on this. Having somebody else helping you achieve your goals doesn't mean that you are weak or that you cannot, or that you are not being responsible for your life. On the contrary, it means that you are really invested and committed to your growth. And I myself have a coach as well. So I do find that having one provides me with opportunities of personal expansion and insights that maybe I wouldn't be able to get to all on my own. So just that. Um, my name is Samantha. I am an intuitive coach, an Akashic Records reader, tarot reader, energy worker. And if you think someone will benefit from listening to these words, please share it with them. Thank you.